Tonight's show, if you think of all the guests, everybody we done had on there, anybody, P. Diddy to Floyd Mayweather to Alicia Keys to Sweetie, whoever you could think of, right? None stands out like this guest tonight. And yes, indeed, we keep getting bigger and bigger and better and better. And yesterday's price will never be today's price. Shout out to the Boricuas from Puerto Rico on the check-in. I mean, I'm so hyped for today's guest. Hey, yo, Rich. Let me see. Let's get to it, guys. Now I can show you better than I can tell you. If this guest comes on, it's over. Woo!
Hooah!
Mr. Freeman.
Hey, man.
How are you?
I'm terrific now. I've been fiddling around here for the last 10 minutes trying to find you.
I know you professional. You know I'm still hip hop, Mr. Freeman. I'm still hip hop, man. I'm sorry about that.
That's very cool.
I know you're professional. We know you as the voice of God. How did they coin that phrase, the voice of God? Morgan Freeman.
Voice of Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty.
Yeah, remember the movie?
Yes.
I played God, and it was a lot of people accepted it.
I mean, let me tell you something. You so much the voice of God that I saw an interview one time where they were saying they didn't even know that Morgan Freeman was black. You believe that?
No. No, I've been around a long time, and I've been black the whole time, so.
Yes. We're gonna I need that IG. Cause we here tonight for a special thing. What is the movie called, Mr. Freeman? Of Mr. Chamberlain.
Oh, it is the killing of Kenneth Chamberlain.
The killing of Kenneth Chamberlain. And so what I understand was his son and them had the project ready and it sat around for 10 years and you discovered this and you said, this is brilliant. I got to be a part of this.
Yeah, this is basically true. The action took place 10 years ago in the killing. And then the movie was made a couple of years ago. And my partner and I got to see it. It was sent to us at a time when they were just looking for distribution. You know, how do we get this movie seen? And Lori and I, my producing partner, we thought, oh my God, you know, yeah, right. We got to get on this. So here we are.
Man, this is an amazing story. I'm gonna get his son on here right now to include him on this so we can chat about the movie coming up. And when does the movie come out, Mr. Freeman?
I think it's already out, just not in wide release. Yeah.
So is there a streaming platform we can find this movie at?
You ask Kenneth, he'll know about it.
I will right now. Don't worry about it. I'll do it right now. Just a second. Nothing's going wrong.
Is Kenneth there? I had trouble getting here.
No, you did great. You did great.
Thank you, because I'm really a Luddite.
You know, I'm old school. You talking to the... I don't see it. Hold up. I'm sorry. Just a second.
No worries.
This guy got the biggest name I ever seen in the history of mankind.
Longest name.
It's the longest name. Fisher Kenneth
Chamberlain Jr.
There we go. I sent the request. So, man, so many things. I want to get educated on this movie. I'm a movie buff. I love movies. Hey, what's up, my brother? How you doing?
Joe cracked the dawn. I salute you, bro.
Listen, Let me tell you, this is the big. You know, I got a phone call today from Eddie Levert, the living legend. And when he called me, I said, what do I owe this for? He said, I just want you to know you the big show in the game. I said, oh my God. I start singing, they smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. How's it going? My brother, we here to talk about the movie that was made about your dad. Could you explain to us the name of the movie, where we can find it, and just break down to us the unfortunate incidents that happened with your dad that makes this film so powerful?
So the name of the film is called The Killing of Kenneth Chamberlain. And the platforms that it's on is iTunes, Amazon Prime, Google, Microsoft, Vudu, YouTube, Vimeo. You can get it on all of those different platforms. And this is about the killing of my father that happened almost 10 years ago in White Plains, New York. He inadvertently triggered his life around his neck. He suffered from a heart condition and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and bipolar disorder. The White Plains police to his home, knocked on the door. He came to the door. He said he was okay, and that wasn't enough for these police officers. At that point, for about 90 minutes, they began to just this full-out assault on my father. Because he was living in a housing project, they felt like they just do that. And they eventually took the door off his hinges. They fired 11 taser at him, a beanbag shot 4 times, and then they shot him and killed him. But not before he said he was okay. And the officers called him the N-word and cursed at him right before killing him.
And so the point is, they don't truly value our lives, especially if we don't have the money to defend ourselves, especially if we ain't got the finances. I've been there. I grew up in the projects. I grew up with the cops. I'm telling people, yo, get my lawyer. And the cops are telling me, man, you ain't got no lawyer. You ain't got no money. You ain't got shit. There ain't no lawyer coming for you.
You can just shut up.
Yeah, straight up. Dude, everybody, the biggest thing you say in the hood is, yo, I got my lawyer. You really ain't got your lawyer, and they know it. And so they abuse you. They abuse that fact, and that's what we call the voiceless. And that's why we make films like this to show, to put an eye, a lens on it, and just say, hey, you thought Kenneth was voiceless, but we're going to voice him to the world.
Absolutely right.
And so he had a medical condition. So this is when we talk about defund the police. I always say the slogan was wrong, but the message was right. If somebody's suffering from psychiatric problems or whatever, why do you send 12 guys over there with machine guns when you can send somebody who's a psychiatrist to talk them off, give them their medication, and then we move on happily ever after? So that wasn't the case with your father. They went above and beyond to kill him.
Yeah, absolutely right. And to this day, they've never given us a real justification as why they felt they needed to get inside the apartment. Now, we know that it's 3 reasons you can make entry: warrant, permission, or circumstances. They don't have any of those. So they, like I said, at one point, if you listen to the audio, which is on YouTube, and I tell people, I challenge anyone to listen to it and say they don't hear misconduct or murder, where you hear your father say, I'm telling you I'm all right, and the police respond back, I don't give a F, nigga, open the door. And, you know, and they take, like I said, take the door off the hinges. But absolutely right. When you're dealing with people in mental health crisis, you need mental health professionals responding. Most of these police do not know how to deal with situations like that because they're more reactive than proactive. So you have to put mental health services in emergency responses. This is why, like you said, when you talk about defund the police, the wording is wrong. You want to reallocate funds. You want to have emergency services or mental health services in there, you know, and I always tell people that, because it's not about being anti-law enforcement. It's just making sure that rules apply equally for everybody straight across the board. The same way they lock you up, they have to do that to everybody.
Mr. Freeman, you've seen and heard every story in the world. What made this story so compassionate to you that you got behind it and you got behind this movie and you produced this movie? What was so special about this one?
Joe, let's look back a few weeks. Let's look at George Floyd, the whole thing with that. We saw that happen. We didn't see the killing of Kenneth, but we know about it. And we can't, as Americans, I'm not going to say Black Americans, that's bullshit. We can't, as Americans, just allow this kind of activity with the people who are supposed to be enforcing our laws, right? Mm-hmm. What this means in the long run, today's price is not yesterday. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel you. Yesterday's price is not today's price. The people know that, Mr. Freeman. And so we trying to make change. We keep yelling. We keep doing what we got to do. Have you seen any change, Mr. Freeman? Because you're a little bit older than us. Have you seen change from when you was growing up?
Did you? Wait. Did you say a little bit over the hill?
No, a little more mature than us. A little more mature. Yeah, Mr. Freeman, a little more mature than us.
Okay, that's better. Yes. I'll tell you what change I have seen. You and I are talking about it on the air. It's out in the ether. We're talking about it. People are listening. And what we have to say, a lot of people are going to respond to. We cannot allow the personnel of supposedly law enforcement to become unaccountable killers. It doesn't work. It's been pretty true in America in our lives, the three of us, our background, but we cannot just sit by and let it happen. We have to keep yelling and screaming, and now we have you. So, yeah.
We here. Kenneth, let me ask you a question. What do you hope besides the movie's going to be a classic? From what I heard was that people are going to win awards in this movie of how compelling, how incredible the acting is, the story is in this movie. This movie's going to be an automatic over time. This is a classic, right? Now, what type of justice would you like to get for you and your family? In a beautiful day, what do you consider justice after they killed your father?
See, at this time, Joe, 10 years later, there is no justice for Kenneth Chamberlain. There'll never be justice because nothing you can do is going to give me my father back. Because that would be on a beautiful day, that would be justice. But outside of that, what I'm doing is I'm out here and I'm trying to help other families that are impacted by violence. So we're trying to get some type of accountability in the killing of my father, as well as other families who have suffered these same types of changes. So you using your platform to talk about this could potentially help us get, because a lot of people might not know about the killing of Kenneth Chamberlain, but because Fat Joe said something about it, it made me start to pay attention to it.
Right. Mr. Freeman, your legendary role in Shawshank Redemption, standing up for your guy was falsely accused, y'all rode out together. Does that, because the minute I heard about this movie, I started looking into it, I start thinking Shawshank Redemption, right? Is there some type of connection that brings you to this movie right here about Kenneth?
No, I don't think so, Joe. I really don't. This is a completely different situation. I was guilty of what I was in prison for, and Andy Dufresne was innocent. That's not the point. The point is that there has to be, in our case, where Kenneth and I are talking about, accountability. You mentioned justice, and he said, no, we're not going to get justice, but justice is not really possible this late in the game. But what is possible is accountability. If the people who are pulling these things, these kinds of actions are held accountable, you can believe that will be reduced.
Beautiful. Let me ask you a question, right? Because this voice is so legendary, right? I'm asking myself, while you're talking, I'm saying, is Morgan more famous from his acting or his narration, his voiceovers? Because everybody knows this, your voice is so distinct that I'm wondering what you think you're more famous for, your voice or your acting?
Well, I was in the Shawshank Redemption. I'm going to stop there.
You Joe Clark. I mean, in the hood, you Joe Clark.
Yeah, and all through the Caribbean, nobody knew me as Morgan Freeman. They knew me as Joe Clark.
Oh, that might be, you know, in my hood, that's your most legendary role. Joe Clark. I mean, we feared this man and we loved this man, and you brought him to life. A question I had to ask you was...
He was an awesome educator. The person you saw on screen was the person who existed, Joe Clark. I watched him, I stood with him every day because we shot in his school as children poured into that school in the morning. He knew them all, and they all wanted to hug him. That's a teacher.
Wow, exactly. I mean, because you respect the guy. You know, he's tough, but it's because he loves you.
Yes.
And he wore his heart on his sleeve. And we all felt that. We all felt that. I had a principal, not like Joe Clark, but he was mean, but we know he loved us, Mr. Reagan. He might have passed by now. This is elementary, but look, Mr. Reagan was like taking no shorts. You know, you saw him down the hall, you ran in that classroom, but you know, he was also polite. He was also a beautiful person. A question I want to ask Mr. Freeman, was there any, for me, let me just say, musically, if Fat Joe could make any record, I would have wanted to make 50 cents in the club, right? So when I hear that record, I'll be like, damn, I slipped on that one. That should have been my record, right? Is there any role any actor ever played, and they could have been excellent at it, that you said, damn, I wish I had that role?
I was a friend of Alan Ladd Jr.'s, and we did a movie together. And he spoke to me about one of the pet projects that I had always wanted to try and promote. I wanted to play Shane. Remember the movie Shane with Alan Ladd?
Shane. No, I didn't. And I seen everything.
Long time ago. But he was just a gunfighter who happened upon this little family in this little town who was in trouble. And you know, it was like what we have not seen in our movies is heroes like that, black, and they were full of them. Wow,
it's different. It's different type of heroes. It's like this. It's like this story right here shows you the narrative and seeing how the family suffered, and that brings a voice to what happened. And there's certain roles, you know, like I love the Malcolm X, Spike Lee, Malcolm X. There's certain things that uplift us that maybe we didn't have like a superhero, but the message was so strong that impacted our lives. Or like the Central Park 5. Like, I don't know what they call it. That's the real name. But that right there, we sat down like a family and we cried every single one, and it was just so, and my daughter, she been living in a little house on the prairie, so she never seen nothing like this. Yeah. So she's in there like getting the real deal. But this is a story that had to be told.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Man, let me tell you something. I know you're a big time golfer, right?
Well, big time, I wouldn't call it big time, but yeah, regular.
Listen, Mr. Freeman. You got to be good at golf because you've been doing this thing a long time and practice makes perfect. Are you saying you're not really that good at golf?
I suck.
Oh, no, don't do it, y'all. Yeah, listen, don't do that, yo. Yo, Mr. Freeman, so you out there, it's a social thing for you.
It's just a way to keep busy, to keep my body active.
Wow. You know, I got
let me
two
ask
friends.
Yo, do you play golf?
No, I don't. I heard it's really, really hard.
Try it. It's a wonderful game, but you ain't going to go far with it.
Wow. You know, Mr. Freeman, I said, I got two friends that always got pictures on Instagram. They golfing, they this. So I asked one of my friends, I had dinner with him, and I said, I tell you, I said, yo, how's Spec guys at golf? He said, he sucks. This guy, I'm like, but he's there every day. What do you mean?
Every day.
So
yeah.
every day. So I go to my friend Beck. I said, man, you know, I had dinner with our other friend, such and such. And I asked him, how's your golf game? And he said, you suck. And he said, yeah, but what would he know? He's drunk by the fifth hole. I'm like, so nobody's good at golf? People just play golf to play golf?
I watch golf every weekend, the pros. They miss the same putts that I miss. And I really, really, really suck at golf.
You know, let me tell you something, Mr. Freeman. Something that really blew my mind was hearing you on 21 Savage's album.
Oh.
That was like, I was like, how did he get him? I called Dre from Cool and Dre. We all called each other. Everybody was like, yo, he got Morgan Freeman. How does this happen?
I'm a real guy. Voice of God shit, that was born of somebody's, promotion or something. I'm not the voice of God. I'm the voice of Morgan Freeman. Tell him about it, Kenneth.
But when I first met Morgan, I told him, I said the first thing I had to say to him was, take the locks off the doors, Mr. Sams. The enemy is here. Because like you said, Joe Clark, that was the movie.
Right. Right.
He been hearing this his whole life, too. He been hearing this his whole life. Shout out to living legend Melvin Moore on the check-in. Mr. Freeman, any new hip-hop projects you working on right now that we don't know about?
Well, I just finished a one with, who was it? Metro. I just finished
you know, here on this show, when we say something nobody knows, we call this a Joker moment, like Joker Winfrey. So, be clear, there's a Metro Boomin project coming out with Morgan Freeman on that thing.
Yes.
Of all time, who are your top? I'm gonna ask you. I would say top 5, but who are your top? Yeah, let's go. Top 5. Who are your top 5 favorite actors that you think are the most incredible actors? Black, white, Asian,
male, female,
Latino.
Philip Seymour Hoffman, Meryl Streep, Francis McDormand, Clint Eastwood, and one of the older guys, like Henry Fonda. I loved Henry Fonda, and as well as the guy who was involved with Katharine Hepburn for so long, Spencer Tracy.
You know, I go.
Now wait a minute. Don't let me leave out Sidney Poitier.
Oof.
He was my mentor throughout all of it.
That's a legend. Sidney Poitier is a legend of all legends. Yeah. You know, to this day, when I go see my father's into these Western cowboy movies. Yeah. And what makes him happy is me and him watching the same cowboy movie. I done watched The Good, Bad, and Ugly with this man about 100 times, and he sits down and talks about this guy's the best, and Harold Flynn, and this and this and that, and he just starts naming names. And it's a special moment for me to be with my dad watching these Western movies.
Yeah. Well, when I was a kid growing up, you know, I mean, that was it for me. It was Westerns. Nobody did any black cowboys or heroes, but I was okay with that at the time. No more.
I mean, that's how it started. You know, we started, from my era, we started watching Happy Days and all that, and Richie Cunninghams and all that, and then it went into Good Times and Rerun, and now we finally felt like we had somebody on the screen.
Yeah.
Or Chico and the Man.
Chico and the Man. Remember him? I remember that. Yeah.
Mr. Freeman, when it's all said and done, what would you be, if we could just say, what do you left, what did you leave to the world, and what you would like the world to recognize you as 100 years from now? Nowhere near now, but what would your legacy, what would you want to be known as?
I think I'd like to be known as the man who changed America's view of black life.
Could you elaborate on that, Mr. Freeman?
Well, we went through World War II without knowing anything about the input of black soldiers. No, we don't have any heroes out of that war. And they were hundreds. 32nd Fighter Group, 761st Tank Battalion, Jesus Christ, 442nd Regiment. And that was Japanese. I don't want to leave them out, because if it wasn't white, it didn't mean anything in this country. And we just have so much that we could redress, so much that we could go back and say, oh, this happened too, that you weren't aware of, you know?
And that's what I think COVID did. Like opened our eyes into systemic racism and different things and different history that we partook in that never got exposure. Nobody never knew about it, and nowadays is where we just learning about it. And that's that, to me, that's that fine line that's going on in America now. The elephant in the room, per se, to where people are figuring it out. Like, yo, maybe Little Red Riding Hood wasn't Little Red Riding Hood. Maybe Cinderella wasn't Cinderella.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the confusion that everybody seems to be having.
See, you're hitting a nail on the head. It's going to make some people sit up and say, you never thought of that. It's a fact. Yeah. Cinderella. Cinderella? She was cleaning up. She was a maid. She was nobody. That part would have been played by McQueen. Remember her?
Yes. And so this is the type of stuff that we can do now, being that doors are opening to do films like the film about Mr. Kenneth, and do other films to let people know they was here. Their story matters. The story will be told, because for so many years, our stories, black and brown stories, have been suppressed.
Yeah.
And so, yes.
But now Kenneth and I are depending on you, because you have the microphone.
Well, I told everybody they better go get it. Like, they better go stream it. And let me tell you something. The thing that with the beauty about movies is that we talking now in 2021 about Joe Clark. These things live forever. and way beyond our time. And when we're gone, these movies still come. You know, a movie is really, really a landmark. It's really something that lives forever and in the hearts of people. I remember I was just a baby, and it's crazy. I don't know the name, but you know the name. James Earl Jones played the sanitation man. What's the name of this movie?
He played which one?
Jones,
Which
back
man?
in the days, he played the sanitation man. The woman had, she was a single parent.
Princess.
Princess?
That's the name of the movie.
I would watch this movie and not know what it was really about when I was a kid. But I'm talking about 4 years old, 5 years old. But I knew this was a great movie. Like, I knew there's something about this movie that's special. And over the years, I would watch, it was Claudine. Over the years, I would watch it, and it would just be special to me. And I knew, when I didn't even understand the story plot or whatever, I knew this was special. And that's what I mean by movies, the test of time, what's from the heart. When it's from the heart, it's gonna last forever.
Oh yeah. Even if it's not from the heart, it's still gonna be here. The point is that the ones that are from the heart are gonna be here.
Wow, that's a beautiful thing. Listen, Kenneth, could you tell them once again what's the name of the movie, where they can find the movie, where they can stream the movie? Because I want to go. I'm going to watch it tonight.
Well, the name of the movie is called The Killing of Kenneth Chamberlain. You can find it on iTunes, Amazon Prime, Google, Microsoft, Vimeo, YouTube, Vudu, all of those platforms. You just type in The Killing of Kenneth Chamberlain and it'll come up. And I'm really hoping that this film is going to force the conversation for people to really look at police reform and changes that we need to put in place so individuals are held accountable when they commit these types of acts. So, you know, like some of the things that we're looking at right now, Joe, is outside of civilian complaint review boards, we're looking at trying to have police officers licensed, because the same way you have attorneys that are licensed to practice law, police officers should be licensed to enforce the law. And if they violate, if they're guilty of misconduct, brutality, and criminality, they lose their license and they cannot be police officers anywhere. So it's very important. But the name of the game is accountability. That's why you hear Morgan and I talking about that. And, you know, again, I salute you for putting us on and using your platform.
It ain't nothing, my brother, man. It's all love, man. I jumped out the window the minute I heard y'all wanted to get on here, man. And, you know, I love you guys and I stand with you. And I'll keep promoting the movie and telling everybody to go see it and don't stop seeing it, because I'm going to see it tonight myself.
All right. All right.
Mr. Freeman, we love you, man. And
love you back.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Love you.
Salute, Joe.
Hey, let me lay this on you. I've had a lot of interviews, and this has been one of the best ever.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman, man. We love you, man.
All right, Joe. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
All right, Joe.
Wow, all right, my brothers. Hold on, let me do what I gotta do. All right, hold up. There you go. Wow. You don't know who I know. It's simple as that. You don't know who I know. Wild cherry, Pepsi, Ciroc, pomegranate. Yesterday Ciroc is not today Ciroc. You don't know who I know. Jesus. The voice of God. The one and only Morgan Freeman. I'm not going to lie. I was a bit nervous. Felt it right here. Started sweating. I don't know if y'all saw. I seen Joe Clark in Shawshank Redemption. The voice of God. I mean, it's levels to this, man. It's levels to this. The big show. They want me to stop. They want me to stop and give up. I'm the pre-cap king and the recap king. This all started from nothing. When God anoints you and God says, walk that walk. You see, you got to understand, this show started at the darkest time in America's history in 100 years. And we came up here and out of fear because I was scared. I start talking to all the fans and then realized we got to cheer the people up. We got to inform them. We got to inspire them. But all the time, God is in the game. And so no matter what we do, we give all the glory to God. And I tell you every day, don't just love God when you need him. Love him at all times. Any day above ground that we don't hear about nothing happening, that we're healthy, that we got family, and happiness is the most amazing day on earth. I tell you, let your darkest moments bring your most clarity. If you ever go through something financially, could be a relationship, could be anything, and you turn around and your so-called family members, your so-called friends, they're nowhere to be around when you need them. It was all a lesson from God teaching you, you do not need these people around you. I've been betrayed before. I've been hurt. People turned their back on me. They stole from me. People I trusted the most. And guess what? I heard it. I said, man, why? Why did I have to catch your hand in the cookie jar? Why God had to show me this? But you know what? It was to get these people away from me so that when I really get my blessings and really get everything that's coming to me, I don't have these crooks around me. Does that make sense? This is an amazing day. I had this secret I didn't want to tell nobody. I didn't want to tell nobody. I just wanted you to click on your phone, and there you go, Morgan Freeman. The movie, Kenneth, let's get this right, man. And it's a long name. So it's The Killing of Kenneth Chamberlain Jr., The Killing of Kenneth. We got to all go and support and go watch this and tune in. I know you saw the BET Awards. You see me in Sky Blue, Louis Vuitton. UNC sneakers, diamonds was hitting. My sister looked like Naomi Campbell, Remy Ma. Once again, I want to say big ups and big love to my brother Nelly. He deserved that award for all the years, all the hits, all the contributions he ever did. I was really, really excited about that. Let me, I don't want to mess up the Morgan Freeman episode and start talking the mumbo jumbo. If y'all want me to keep going, put fire signs on. If we good, then I'll say goodbye to everybody and we let it go. And so, all right, we'll leave that mumbo jumbo alone. Listen, y'all, keep God first. Always trust in God. I see the fire signs now, but yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. But I'm going to this thing. I'll tell you about it tomorrow. My brother Derek Jeter's having a charity event tonight. We're going out there with the family. Shaka Khan is performing. Shaka Khan is performing. Look, let's do this, right? It's been a while, but this brother been with me all the way. I'm going to let him end the show. Hold up. I'm going to see Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan. Yo, Kenny Sway.
Joe.
A legend on the show.
My God.
You put it down for me since day one. Kenny Sway, take us out of here. Sing an inspirational song for us. And get us up out here.
I was born by the river in a little town. Oh, just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah, man.
Hey, y'all. Kenny Sway, man, thank you for the love, my brother. Everything been good?
Yo, everything's love, man. Hit me, man.
God bless, Kenny. I hit you. Peace.
All right.
Everybody, thank you for tuning in. The Voice of God, Morgan Freeman. The movie is called Kenneth Chamberlain Jr., The Killing of Him. Let's tune in. Let's support. And I'll see you soon. Peace, y'all. The biggest.